Paul, obviously we want to make sure we get our buyers ready for the marketplace, and things are always, ever changing. Interest rates, have come down a bit. I'm curious to hear your take on if you believe that they're going to go up, stay down, where you think they're going to go, and then we can dig down into getting pre-qualified versus pre-approved, or pre-approved versus pre-qualified.
Sure, absolutely. So it's funny, I chose this topic this morning, and obviously the last couple weeks in particular, we talked about the Fed cutting rates. They had that meeting, and they were reduced by 50 bips, and people are like, what does that mean? And obviously the market, because of it helped rates a lot. They dropped, and people, it made the market a little easier to navigate. I feel like first-time home buyers in particular benefited from the lower rates. But it's funny, now we talk about this, everything that happened, all of a sudden, last like 72 to 96 hours, rates went up a little bit. And we're still trying to figure out, what caused this exactly. I mean, there's a jobs report that was released that made everyone feel that the job market was better than what maybe it really is. Yeah. Also, they're saying inflation is curbed now, and inflation's under control. I don't know. I mean, it's a little debatable here. I think some of these things have to work themselves out. I feel like rates went up a little, and I don't know if that's going to last. I feel like they're going to go back down, and that's why I wanted to mention that. It is kind of weird. What is your take, and what are you hearing?
Yeah, I appreciate you throwing that back to me, Paul, because, with our feet on the ground, I got to tell you, the market has actually been sluggish over the past, month and a half or so, a lot more sluggish than you would think. And we've actually had situations where 3 different people we were working with had lost their jobs. I don't believe in the job reports that are coming out. I mean, look at CBS here in Rhode Island. Well, a few weeks ago, they said 2,900 people would lose their jobs. And then I guess 700 or so are local here in Rhode Island. But I think that things are falsified a bit for the presidential elections. Just my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And those are all great points. And that's why when they're saying the jobs report, where's this information coming from? Because everything I'm seeing locally and even regionally, I mean, nothing's making me feel like the economy is thriving and people are doing so well. I mean, yeah, people are paying their bills, but I talk to a lot of people daily. I'm running numbers for people, so I'm seeing income. I'm seeing monthly expenses, and I wouldn't think things are as great as they're trying to make it out to be right now prior to the election, at least on from that perspective. So I'm hoping that, this is a little blip and rates will go down even further, from the rest of the year going into the 2025 first quarter.
Paul, can you tell us the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval?
Absolutely. And this is something that, really important in this market. As you know, when multiple offers being in and, you're a listing agent or here and you have a property, you're trying to differentiate what offer is the best. When you see a letter in a nutshell, pre-approval means, yes, you've been underwritten, you've been credit run, you have assets that are being verified, W-2s, pay stubs, the whole nine, collecting all documents, running the findings, getting the accurate numbers here that you actually qualify. It's pre-underwritten, essentially, pre-approved. Whereas pre-qualified is, I talk to someone on the phone for a few minutes. I tell them, hey, I make X and Y dollars. My credit score is this. And, I have about X and Y dollars in the bank. What can I get? What can you get me, a letter for? And some lenders will do that. They'll literally have a 5 or 10-minute conversation. They might even pull credit. And they'll say, okay, yeah, based on what you're telling me, you're pre-qualified for, $400,000. Okay, here's your letter. And that sounds great. And sure, it makes their job easier. But at the end of the day, when an offer is being accepted, and that's the way that the person was screened, if that person wasn't fully honest, or maybe something changed, or maybe the credit wasn't recognized, all of a sudden you go from a slam dunk deal to one that blows up on the halfway through the process.